One of the keys to Apple is Apple's an incredibly collaborative company. And so, you know how many committees we have at Apple?
No.
0. We have no committees.
No committees.
We are organized like a startup. One person's in charge of iPhone OS software. One person's in.
It's interesting because for so far as I can judge on it, it's still the case. They're still working like a startup. It's really amazing if you see how much revenue they do in certain areas, and if you see how many people are. That's not the right word. They only employ a very limited amount of people in those areas to make it happen. It's very interesting.
In charge of Mac hardware. One person's in charge of iPhone hardware engineering. Another person's in charge of worldwide marketing. Another person's in charge of operations. We're organized like a startup. We're the biggest startup on the planet. And we all meet for 3 hours once a week, and we talk about everything we're doing, the whole business. And there's tremendous teamwork at the top of the company, which filters down to tremendous teamwork throughout the company. And teamwork is dependent on trusting the other folks.
I have a little bit of experience working with startups. I do believe what he's saying. So if you look at Apple, I can imagine that they're really organized like a startup. But the experience that I have with startups is that they see everything through rose-colored glasses. So they see everything very positive, which is helpful. Positive thoughts are very helpful, but it also put a lot of pressure on people. You can have a lot of pressure for a certain amount of time, but if you're working for a company like that, you constantly have so much pressure on you. I'm not quite sure if that is a healthy thing.
To come through with their part without watching them all the time, but trusting that they're going to come through with their parts. And
that's good advice for a lot of leaders. Just trust people that they do what they have to do. Guilty as charged. Nowadays, everybody wants to work from home. I find that complicated, but it says everything about me. So I will never, ever bother people with it. Because as long as they do what they have to do, I need to trust them. I also got a lot of confirmation when I trust people, things really will happen. Good advice.
And that's what we do really well. And we're great at figuring out how to divide things up into these great teams that we have and all work on the same thing, touch bases frequently, and bring it all together into a product. We do that really.
A couple of keywords, what he just said. It's about collaborating, it's about communicating, and it's about trust. These are, I think, key elements, not just for Apple, but also for every company.
Well, and so what I do all day is meet with teams of people and work on ideas and solve problems to make new products, to make new marketing programs, whatever it is.
And are people willing to tell you you're wrong?
I haven't seen the video, so let's see what he has to say. When I look at the man and what I know from him, I think I would be afraid to say to him, listen, Steve, unfortunately we cannot do that anymore, but hey, listen, Steve, you're wrong. Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, other than snarky journalists. I mean, people that work for you.
Oh, yeah. No, we have wonderful arguments.
And do you win them all? Or?
Oh, no, I wish I did. No, see, you can't.
I need to elaborate a little bit on this because I think that if you really have a strong case, he probably will listen to you. But if you look at the man, it's not easy. If you are having a very valid point, I'm not quite sure he really wants to listen to it. What I understand from how he works is that that's something I really love. He starts already with the end in mind. When do you start building? As soon as it's finished. And when it's finished, in your mind. And I truly believe that even if you have a valid point, if it deviates too much from what he has in his mind, he's probably not listening to it anymore. In fact, it would be strange, because if your mind already made the decision to go into a certain direction, that's for me, that's definitely also for him. It's not so easy to stay away from that. That's not easy.
And if you want to hire great people and have them stay working for you, you have to let them make a lot of decisions, and you have to be run by ideas, not hierarchy. The best ideas have to win. So, otherwise, good people don't.
It's a small advice is just slip through it. Hierarchy doesn't work. Good ideas, they work. But you need to have a structure in place to make it happen, eh? That's not easy.